Good evening. My name is Aaron Lau and I graduated from Nanyang Polytechnic last year. Previously, before I enrolled in Nanyang Polytechnic, I was in ITE College West. I studied hospitality and tourism in both of colleges. To summarize what I learned, which I felt that is the most important, would be leadership, effective communication, and strategic thinking. I will spend a short time explaining why those three things matter. Leadership. Regardless of how good your technical skills are, if the team does not succeed, you do not succeed. And what does this mean in a leadership perspective? It means that you should not just focus on doing the job that you're assigned to, but looking out for your team. And to make this simple, it means ensuring the team moves in one direction and everyone is on the same page. So I will simplify this for this job, the mice in Ritz-Carlton, we would have to deliver results that satisfies the needs of all stakeholders within assigned time frame and within a certain time frame. So you have to satisfy the safety aspect from the regulator side and the profitability side, which is from the client side. So in terms of the mice aspect, you have to satisfy everyone and ensure that you meet the deadline. Okay, so for the second part, effective communication. Effective communication, like, is also related to leadership. It means that everyone has to be on the same page. So you have to communicate in a clear, concise manner to avoid confusion and diluting the message. So if you were in a meeting, you would avoid anything that is not serving that is not meeting the objective. So you have to keep the meeting short, concise, and ensuring that everyone is on the same page. So for the third aspect, the most important thing, strategic thinking. So as mentioned, it is related to leadership and effective communication. Strategic thinking ensures that you don't just focus on the task that you're doing, but it contributes to the overall picture of what the company is trying to achieve. So that will be the vision, the mission of the company. And I will quote this famous motto from your company: be sincere. No. You take care of your team so that your team take care of the guests and the guests will return. So what does that mean? It means that if your team is not accomplishing the mission, you give them the support they need and you try to understand them instead of throwing them under the bus and throwing them under the bus if they're not meeting the objective. You give them the support they need. That is leadership. So when the team is able to achieve their mission, the mission gets solved, the guests will come back satisfied, and if they do not come back, they will refer to us their other clients. So then that contributes to the overall sustainability of the hotel. And when everyone wins, um, it could benefit everyone in the long run. So that will be the bonuses or further training provided for those who show potential for promotion, and then people will stay longer. Okay, so that covers it. If you want to ask me further on those three points I mentioned, leadership, effective communication, strategic thinking, I'll be happy to share more. Okay, so why am I interested in this job? Because I see there's a career potential in it, and I also see that there's a lot of potential to grow. So there's a lot of planning involved, and I would like to be involved in the planning process. So, like I said earlier, it can be something as simple as ensuring that you meet the clients, what the client wants. With regards to profitability, you also have to meet the regulator side in terms of safety. And then you also have to ensure that, well, besides meeting the stakeholders wants, you also need to, well, there's a lot of process involved in MICE, right? You have to ensure that there's a demand for the event itself. So I think for Ritz-Carlton, it's less of um the exposition itself. I think it's related more towards weddings. I think there's also exposition itself, but it's not as big as compared to Suntec or MBS or Expo. So it will be more on the smaller scale. Okay, so if I were to think about it, what are the questions we should ask? Okay, who are our main competitors? Since we are attracting clients who tend to host smaller scale events. Okay, so which other hotels will be competing with us for the clients? Okay, then if I were to go a bit bigger picture, which country would be competing with Singapore? Because Singapore tends the when you hold events in Singapore, it tends to be more expensive. So why should the clients even choose to hold the events in Singapore? Yeah. Okay, so other than the career progression in MICE, I also want to network. That's why I want to work in Ritz-Carlton, network with other people, like-minded people who can think about these issues, the big questions to ask. So not just focusing on the job itself, but collaboration, teamwork. And it's not just within your immediate team, it's with other departments. Because the other departments complement each other. They shouldn't be working against each other. Yeah. So that's some introduction about me. And um oh yeah, yes. I read the job description. It says that I need 2 years of work experience. So I think when compared to other people, I would be at a disadvantage. But here's how I make up for it due to the lack of my job experience. I will be asking ChatGPT to make me to give me some mock projects to which I will do, and then I will share it on my LinkedIn, which I could also share my resume, which the link is already there provided. So I already did the basic aspects of it in the Google Sheets, the Excel, and then once I have already done them, from then on I'll be moving on to more specialized tasks, depending on where I see fit. Yeah, to which the odds of me likely using them. Okay, so once I'm done with all those technical aspects, the other projects that I would like to focus on would be consultation. So I already did one project. It's a school project. I would also include it in the resume, whereby a restaurant is facing the problem statement of poor customer service. And we will have to come up with creative solutions to handle it. But to summarize what I learned from the project, it will be poor customer service is due to the lack of manpower. And this manpower issue is not related to the restaurant itself. It is happening all over Singapore, especially specifically in the food and beverage sector. Okay, so why not just the restaurant face this issue, but whole of Singapore? It is because people do not see potential career progression in the food and beverage sector. And a lot of the sources I quote were from the university. So this is not just happening in Singapore, it's also happening in other OECD countries, mostly developed countries, but also happening in other developing countries. So to summarize, the hotel and tourism graduates, a lot of them are being moved to the corporate sector, whereby they see more career progression, higher pay, and fixed work schedule, no shift work. So what are my um proposed solution for it? I would so I have three proposed solution. The first one would be the first two will be on technology, while the third one will be on training staff. So first one would be, if I remember correctly, it is using the latest software. Second one would be on leveraging data. Third one would be on training staff. So there's is a big, if I were to dive deep into it, I would confuse you all. So perhaps I won't go deeper into that, but if you were to ask me during the interview, I would be happy to explain furthermore. The report will be included in the resume. Okay, let's see. What else did I miss? Yeah, I can't think of anything else to share with you all. If you all are interested in having me for an interview, I'll be happy to indulge. That's it, and I hope you all have a good day. If I'm not invited for the interview, I wish you all the best in you recruiting the right people for the team.